What's going on, YouTube? It's Tyler_TCG back at again with another video, and today we have...
Hello, I'm Trevor Hoy.
And what did you do last weekend, Trevor?
I played at the Hartford Regional. I believe that was February 26th, and I got second place.
Yeah, we're a little late on this deck profile, but what did you play at the regional?
I played Mathmech.
Alright, and why did you choose pure Mathmech to pilot for that event?
Mathmech was a very easy deck to play for 8 or 9 consecutive rounds, and it had a lot of tech spots, which is what you really need in this format.
Okay, and do you remember a lot of your matchups from that weekend, or...?
Yeah. The first half of it was Rogue. I played against Flunder with that barrier statue. I played against Scareclaw Brave, which the cameraman also played against, but I won that one. And then the rest of it was Kashtira. I only lost once to Kashtira, and then I won against the other one switcher Kashtira, which was the matchup I was assuming to play against the entire day.
Alright, let's hop right into the deck profile, shall we?
Alright, so we got 3 Mathmech Circular. This is the card that helps you win in this deck. It's really bad against Kashtira, but that's what the flex cards are for. You need this card to resolve sometimes. Other times you just need 2 level 4s so you can get to stuff like this. It takes real technical play to make the most out of Circular, otherwise you're just going to do Circular Pitch Sigma every single time, which we'll get to later in the combo. This Foolish Burrows is cost, it's not ashable, and you can only declare 1 attack the turn you do that, so it's important to pay notice to that. Only 1 monster can attack on your side of the field. And if another Mathmech is summoned, you get to search Mathmech for a trap, which can be chain blocked with Diameter.
You get the better Revolt.
Yes. This is Diameter. Diameter on normal reborns level 4 from graveyard, and if used as Synchro or Exceed material, gives that monster an Omni negate for the turn it's summoned. It doesn't destroy though, so this is good because we can make it under 5 for Nibiru, or we can make it on our opponent's turn for Omni negate with the trap card. Then we have 2 Subtraction, 2 Sigma, and 2 Addition. All Extenders do the same purpose. This one makes a monster gain 1,000 on each side of the field. Subtraction makes one lose 1,000 on either side of the field. Both of them summon each other in the same exact way, except they're locked in the Cybers for the rest of the turn. Sigma can summon itself from hand or graveyard if you have nothing in the EMZ, but banish itself when you leave the field. You're usually going to use it as Exceed material, so that doesn't really come up, unless you need it for a link climbing. This is what you usually send off the Circular, but you can also use it as an extender with Diameter to get your Exceeds plays. Then I played 2 Exceed. You could play 3 if you're playing something like Desirous. I think Desirous is terrible this format, so I played 2 because I need to only see 1. And if you play 3, you're going to see 2 more than you want to. If you see 2, you can put 1 back with something in the extra deck that we have. Exceed is fine, gets you to Allen version. It's actually the worst Cybers name to get to Allen version because the other Mathmex you want in graveyard to get your trap card live. But it's still a way to get there. Then we get to most of the flex spots. We got 2 Fenrir. Fenrir Search Fenrir really comes up because if this is your first play of the game, they're going to usually ask or imperm this if they believe you're on Kashtira, which in case just eats up a free negate. That's all I have to say about Fenrir. Everyone knows what Fenrir does. We got 1 Lava Golem. Bridge for Small World. Just comes up, you could search it if you're going second in game 1. It's able to search out the Fire Mathmex. It's a level 8 also for Parallel Exceed, it's important to know. Archbeam Eccentric, the best Small World target in the deck. It's a level 3 light, meaning you can go through any Nib or Cybers monster, but it also can be used as an interruption. You can normal summon it to pop because you don't need a normal summon to this.
You can scale it to pop back row.
You can scale it to pop a back row, but you can normal summon this and then immediately contest the 3 material Rise Heart, which you can then get your tactics or your talents live. But if you put it in the scale, you could pop the Birth. This will proc the Rise Heart, which will help with side deck cards, but also just proccing that Rise Heart to get most of your stuff live. We got 1 Mortar, another Small World Bridge. It's a level 3, goes well into Eccentric. You can use it off Parallel Exceed. This card's also come up. I won a game in time because of it, so I'd really like to shout out to Mortar. The 1-up, by the way. And 1 Rabbit. Ghost Ogre is not that good, obviously, because we're in a shifter format. We're in with, there's an Exceeds Macrocosmo, but Small World lets us, exactly. Fenrir searches Fenrir, and then Fenrir is a Psychic, Ogre is a Psychic, and then Psychic doesn't come up, then Light turns you into a Circular. So it makes Fenrir Small World into Circular. Then 3 Nib, really good hand trap this format. It's a light. Any real light Mathmech name or hand trap is going to get you from this into Circular. That's the main play of the deck, Small World into Circular. Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom goes into Eccentric into Circular. Or you can go other way around, Eccentric into Ash. That's what I've done at table 1 against my opponent that was playing Kashtira. I had full combo anyway, so I used the Small World to get rid of a light name I did not need. Went to Eccentric and then searched on Ash Blossom, which helped me Ash that field to win that game. 3 imperm. Could be effect filler if you like to play effect filler. I hate effect filler. No matter what format it is, I just really dislike that card because it loses to a lot more than imperm does. Imperm is double purpose. You could set it to get your negates. It stunned a birth in the tournament as well, which really came up. And then 2 eclipse. After the tournament, I figured moon would be better, but for the tournament, I did play 2 eclipse, and I wanted to keep the list to that. Eclipse is fine. It outs what you need to out, and if you just draw your tech cards, it's not gonna matter which ones you draw. Then we got our 3 small world.
MVP card for you, MVP.
Yes, I love Small World. The Tyler has played Mathmech as well. He hates Small World.
I do.
love Small World so much.
I do.
It's a higher ceiling, extremely higher, but you also have to know what you're doing with it. You can't reveal anything to anything unless you build your deck around that.
Check out the live stream if you want to see my hatred of Small World.
Yes, I could go on for hours about the Small World bridges. It's very important to know your Small World bridges, so you're not sitting there for 10 minutes of a tournament trying to find that bridge. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting time. But if you're very fast and know your Small World bridges, you're going to be able to get any card you want in the deck. That's why we're able to play 1 Lava Golem, 1 Eccentric. Cards like Fenrir, you could search Fenrir off of this if you just need to clear the board. Now we're going into the rest of spells and traps that are
One
ones.
of.
We got Equation, just search ball of Circular, search ball of Island Version, targets Mathmech, reborns it, gains 1,000. Very important to know because you could just reborn something like a Circular or Island Version and it can gain to 3,000 or 25, immediately compete with the Cashiers. 1 talent and 1 thrust. You only need 1 each. You never want to draw 2 of them. If you draw both of them, then you're insane. You can search anything really in your deck. Thrust is great because you can grab Small World off of it. Small World gets us in a combo. Talents is just good to look at their hand, to draw, whatever you need.
I'm just gonna title this video just the Small World deck profile.
It is. I'm the Small World gamer, by the way.
Called by.
Called by is fine. Called by does what it needs to do. Stops like it's never negate. We'd prefer to have Diameter as the Omni to stop the hand trust, but Called by lets our Small World resolve because they won't ash it till they know what you're on, but then when they know what you're on, they're gonna ash the Small World. And then 1 Change of Heart, searchable off Thrust, really comes up just to out the board. You're playing against Cashier, you take one of their big names, you clear their own board before even activating Circular. That's what I was able to do mostly all day. I've only gotten Shifted once, and I had the Ciphering for that. Otherwise, they make their board, whether it be just the Arise Heart or several other names. You take one of those names or the Arise Heart, and you use the Arise Heart to banish itself if they didn't already. So it's a 1-for-1. And then the Shield Territorial. This is the best card in Mathmech.
This is better Tri-Brigade Revolt.
Yes, this targets 3 Mathmechs in your graveyard, or up to 3. Summons them back from the graveyard, then you can immediately Synchro or Exceed of them. We don't play the Synchro on this list. I used to play it back when I was first streaming the deck, but it does not come up as much anymore. You make the Exceeds, which can make Island Version if you really need to. You get the search, but you can still get the Omni Negate off the Diameter because all it needs to do is check that it was used as Exceeds material. Or you can make Laplation, which Laplation is Exceeds Tricia. Then we're going to have the extra deck. For our link once we got Salmagray Almirage. Comes up because we need to get rid of our hand traps to turn them into Cyrus monsters. Or you can use it for Parallel Exceed as well. It also could tribute itself to make one of your monsters undestroyable by card effects, but we have Laplacian for that anyway. Lingerable. Lingerable is amazing. Lingerable stops trap cards, yes. It could stop the Big Bang, it could stop the Preparation, any imperms in the back. It makes your combos really able to go through. Most people are playing this because they have to play through Ibly. We don't need to play through Ibly because we are a Mathmech deck. That's another reason why I tried to play this deck this format, because if somebody puts Ibly on you, they don't know what you're doing, then they just gave you a free extender. Then we play the Devotee and Disciple package. No other topping lists I've seen of Mathmech are really playing these anymore. I still think they're great because opening 2 level 4s plus any extender gets you to the full combo where you have the Devotee, the Disciple, and then the Island Version to tribute the Devotee to get 3 extra names off of that, or 2. Or if you just open 2 names, then you can tribute it, draw. If you open the Fenrir and you don't want to have a Small World in your hand, you can put that Fenrir back, so it essentially makes Fenrir a +1. And it really gets you to the combo that I try to do, because most combos have been ending with just Heat Soul. I still do the Cyrus Wicked with the IP Masquerena. The best end board under the Disciple and Devotee is when you end with the Wicked, with the Masquerena, with the Lingerable. This plays through evenly matched, this plays through them having anything that might try to stop you, because if they try to go to battle phase, we do also play Avermax, I'll say that now, which means that they can't get over the Lingerable still, and it'll be protected thanks to Masquerena. For people that don't know, Wicked banishes a Cyrus from graveyard if summoning someone to its zone once returned. Grabs Cyrus Tuner, so it grabs Diameter. Diameter's a follow-up. Diameter can be anything we need. We could also grab Sigma, because it's a Cyrus Tuner, so we just get extra pluses to our hand, which is what helped me win that and get second place. So, we also have Splash. Splash Mage is fine.
Monster
It's
Reborn.
Play 2. It's a Monster Reborn, exactly. It's a bridge. Gets you where you need to go. You can reborn it off transcode and do it again if it's a separate turn. It does what it needs to. Then we got Heat Soul.
Double draw.
Heat Soul, yes. You pay 1,000, you draw. This is really good because this deck's able to eat hand traps, but when they have just a little too much, you make Splash Mage, you Splash Mage bring back, then you go into Heat Soul. You draw just 2 cards off of them using their hand traps. So they'll go to like 3 or 4 cards in hand to you having 6.
And then you could possibly draw into more hand traps as well.
This is true. You can also draw in the combo if you break. Then we have the line. We have the transcode, the update, the access.
Update access OTK, baby.
Yes, because you have to play this line in this deck because Circular makes you only able to attack 1 monster. This will bring it to 53 if you go through the full line and swing. It's important for people to know that if you summon Fenrir in this deck, you can't use the transcode effect to reborn because you have to only summon Cyrus that whole turn. So we'd have to use an extra name, but even so, we could just update Jammer of any other one to give it 43, which is still 86 per game. It's fine. I actually didn't play Update Jammer before. I played a second Splash Mage, but Update Jammer really came out. I'm really glad I did make that last minute decision.
Just helps OTK help your OTK life.
And then the last link forward play is Avermax. You just make it off the Wicked and the IP, or like a transcode of some link 1 that you can make off of it. It does what it needs to. They have a really hard time adding this Kashtira because you can't target it, so their Fenris can't get over it, their Riser can't get over it, and if you make it with the Lingering Bow, then you can still protect yourself through the evenly matched or anything they're trying to break the board for. You know, it does what it needs to, exactly. I used to play Rival Cyrus in this deck just as a fun thing to pop out, but you don't really need it. And you don't need Appaloosa for sure. I really hate Appaloosa in this deck. Then we got the 3 XYZs. Laplacian. Laplacian is the best Xyz Cyrus to ever exist, even though there's a very small amount of them. You, on summon, detach up to 3 materials to apply 1 of the effects each. You send a card from their hand from the graveyard at random. So however you wish to do that, you send a Spurred Trap from their field to the graveyard, and you send a monster from their field to the graveyard. So it's a Trishula for 3. And there has been so many times, especially in the cash matchup, they have a cash name, birth, and a card in hand. All 3. Twice in tournament, especially when it's very important when it came up. Just activate the Super Factorial, send all 3 of those, they have no cards in hand, and because you had the Diameter, you have an Omni-Negate in case they did. This is really good against the Brave package as well, gets rid of the token, Faithful, and a card in hand, they're down to 4. Really good against the new stuff that'll be coming out, the Super Heavy Samurais. This will still be an amazing card. In the last round of tournament, I was against Kashtira and he had Summon Limit, so we were both playing back and forth. He had his names. I was not getting to my names fast enough until I got to Circular. Circular, I summoned 1 back for my second summon, got the Super Factorial engraved, and then because Super Factorial summons as 1 and then exceeds as a 2, that plays on their Summon Limit. So we Summon Limit, send the Summon Limit, a monster he controls, and a card in hand in the graveyard, and we proceeded to win the next turn because we sniped the Unicorn out of his hand. The other card was really a brick. And then we have the next 6 Cs, Alan Bershin. I wish I had secrets of these, but I don't have secrets yet. So this can do 3 things as well, similar to Laplacian. Depending on the number of materials you detach. On 2 detaches, you add any Mathmech card in its hand. This includes its power traps. So if they Ash or Imperm your Circular, you can search Super Factorial off of this, or vice versa. You can search another extender name, like addition or subtraction, or just the Circular itself if you did through Exceed, or Diameter and an extra level 4 extender. The 3 detached material effects is at any level 4. This never really came up, but I'm sure it could. It used to come up in tier limit format where you search the Skullmeister. It'll come up again. You can search something in the side deck with it, which is really funny. But at that point, I don't know if that would really be worth it, unless it would be. It depends on the situation.
Depends on the format and the game you're in.
So, The fourth effect is to add a spell or trap from deck to hand. This is anything. So we can go into our side deck cards and just search them for deck. That's why we're able to play one of some of the side deck cards, because we play Thrust, but we also play Alimbertion. And that's a very easy effect to get off in this deck. So that's it for the extra deck. And
Side deck.
lastly, we're going to do the side deck, yes, because that's what really came up. Once you get down a good siding pattern in your deck, then your deck becomes really amazing, because you don't want to spend too much time thinking about, oh, how to side for this, oh, how to side for that, or like swapping it up, because then you're never going to have that mindset. You need to get a siding pattern down. I recommend that, because then you're able to speed through the siding time, like intermission, and you don't have to go into time as much. I've rarely ever gotten into time with this deck. Only once I did, and I lost because my opponent was a little quick with the trigger, I'd say, trying to get me through to the battle phase, but it's nothing against him. It was pressured. It was important.
It was fine. It was finals.
It was fine. It wasn't finals.
Well, it was the last round.
This was like second or third to last round.
Huh?
It was it's just one of those things. It was top tables. It was pressured. I had nothing against it. So for our side deck, 3 Gamma and a Dragon. I usually don't play this package, but in a deck like this where you lose to Shifter, and it's just a great card because they can like try to omni-negate your circular if you're going second and you don't control anything because it activates in hand. This comes up, and we don't play Omega or any synchros for it. We just make an IP because it's generic, or we use it as material. We can't transcode the turn we do this, but we can like access code. We can still do things like that. So it's not the worst, and it came up a lot actually, especially if you want to use them as walls to make your opponent like really pressured. Like they have to clear the walls, or they just have to pass the turn and let them both get banished. So it's here or there. It does play in the Thrust, but you really have to play. It's a necessary evil. Then we play 2 of the actual MVP of this deck, Kurikara. This card's amazing right now. I always thought this card was amazing. I just never had it and never had the chance to really test it. This format I really have, because there's been times where, like I said, you bait the Arise Heart of something like the Eccentric. It has to activate because it's mandatory, and you summon this over. And the best part of doing that is that during the end phase, it has this third effect that you could reborn a monster from your opponent's graveyard. So you get the reborn Offender, meaning you get an extra interruption off of this card alone. It could hit 45. The highest I've had it hit is 75, which is pretty insane. It's just a wonderful card. One of my favorites in recent years. Then we play a pointer, 1 of Spell or Trap. We can search it off Thrust. We can search it off Alimbertion. Comes up, you don't want them like having that 1 of sack card. You get that sack card out of their hand. It's not going to come up again. 1 D barrier. Searchable off of Thrust. Searchable off of Alimbertion. Comes up, you don't want to declare Seize against Cash of it because that hurts you as well. You might have to sometimes. It's good against Punk. I played against Punk, not this regional, but at other events where it's come up. It's good against the Runic Naturia deck because you can declare Synchro or Fusion, whichever one you need to. It's fine. It's a great card right now. Whenever it's a great card, it's a wonderful card. 1 Mathmech Induction. This is another Mathmech Spell or Trap, not played as much. While face up on the field is continuous. All cybers you control game powers to attack. So this could be flipped to give your monsters 500 on an attack deck, which could surprise your opponent if they're trying to punch over something. It's fine. Like, if your opponent has a Fenrir and they're attempting to like punch over your Alimbertion or Laplacian to get rid of that Omni Negate, you could flip this up on an attack deck. Yours becomes 25. It punches over their monster and they just lost a Fenrir. Its other effect is you send it from the field to the graveyard, target a face-up card in the field, pop it. It's just a searchable pop. So if you have everything else, because you only have 2 Mathmech Spell or Traps in this deck, you just search this. It's just another interruption that's searchable. Then 3 Evenly.
Just the best side deck card right now.
Self-planetary. You just need it in everything. Duster. I don't like Labyrinth. I didn't play against any Labyrinth this tournament. I'm very lucky for that, because that would have really ruined my day. Gozen's terrible against this deck, like in the sense that it's great for the opponent, but terrible for me. I'm alright. And then we got the 2 monsters. These 2 monsters, we play them both at 1 because we play Small World, and they're searchable through many, many ways. So 1 deck of Sekka. Once give our trap decks, Trap Tricks, lose to this card immediately on the spot. Labyrinth, not so much if they have a trap in graveyard, the Big Welcome or something, but it's a threat they have to deal with. It's searchable off Alimbertion. It's an incredible card when it needs to be. And then we actually play 1 to play ourselves. I could play more if I felt necessary, but I felt like we could small board search it. It's not that necessary. We just put it up against the Cashier, we activate Circular, and can't get nipped, can't get impermed. Turn's kind of free at that point. And that just about concludes the deck.
All right, thank you very much, Trevor. And let me know, guys, if you want to see any combo tutorials in the video. If this video gets 25 likes, we will do a combo video for you guys. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.